Everybody, welcome to this Caregiver Coffee. My name is Matthew Estrad. I'm a gerontologist in St. Tammany Parish, and I've been bringing you the Caregiver Coffee for about 5 years now, and I've been the support group facilitator for caregivers of older adults for over 10 years. Today's topic is going to be fall prevention of older adults specifically, and we'll be going over a few materials, one of them being a brochure called What You Can Do to Prevent Falls. And this is from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. So we'll be going over this. And as usual, I'll be hitting the highlights on it. And then I'll also be sharing a link to this PDF so that hopefully you will want to download this and read it and pass it along to others. So let me set my timer actually. Here we go. Okay, I don't want to go too long. Before we get into this really important topic, for even though this is coming out in September, I'm sorry, this is not coming out. This is coming out in August, right before September. It's in preparation for the month of September, which is when we promote awareness of falls and prevention of falls in older adults. So that's why we're coming to you today with this topic. And before we get into that, let me tell you a little bit about the caregiver support group that we have. We meet every Tuesday of the week. I'm sorry, every Tuesday of the month from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Sometimes we're in person at a senior activity center. Sometimes we're online via Zoom. So the basic calendar, and I'll tell you how to find a printable calendar, but basically the way that it works is the first Tuesday of the month, we're at the Senior Activity Center in Slidell on Cousin Street. The next Tuesday, the second Tuesday of the month, we meet virtually via the platform of Zoom. And then the third Tuesday of the month, we're in person again, except this time we're at the Senior Activity Center in Covington off of Highway 190. And then on the fourth Tuesday of the month, and then sometimes the fifth Tuesday of the month, we're back on the virtual platform Zoom. And if you're joining us via Zoom, you can be on your computer, like I'm on my computer right now. You can be on your smartphone or tablet because there is a Zoom app that's free. You can also call in from your cell phone or even a landline telephone. You just call the numbers. You don't worry about pressing a link. You just punch in a lot of numbers, and you'll be able to hear us. We'll be able to hear you. You just won't be able to see us. So I hope that any of those weeks and any of those options on and ways to join us, those methods and join us are going to be helpful. So you join us at least once a month. And I encourage you to visit the Coast website, coastseniors.org, navigate over to caregiver resources, and then you'll be able to find a calendar that we publish every 2 months. So we're about to come out, if we haven't already, by the time you see this, we're about to put out the September and October 2025 calendar so that you can see where we're going to be exactly, the address, the phone number, when virtual, and the link and all that kind of stuff. So plus, you can also, and this would be in addition, you could join the support group mailing list. All the details are on the flyer on that calendar that I just mentioned. It will give you a link or a QR code where you can join. All right, so on with this really important topic of what you can do to prevent falls. Like I said, this is a brochure from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and the specific program is called STEADY. All these resources I'm using are called STEADY. That stands for Stopping Elderly Accidents, Deaths, and Injuries. So in this in this brochure, they're going to talk about 4 main ways of preventing falls, and I'll cover all those in detail on here. But first, let me tell you what the 4 are. So just kind of set the stage. The first one is to talk openly with your healthcare provider about the risks of falling and prevention of falling. Next is exercise to improve your balance and strength. And number 3, having your eyes and feet checked. Number 4, the last one, making your home safer. All right, so now for the rest of the video, we'll talk about, I'll read some of the verbiage and hit some of the high points and bullets of this, just in case if you only see the video, you'll be covered. If you want to download for free via the link that I'm sharing in the description of this. You can, that's great. Also, you'll be able to write on it, highlight, send it to others, etc. You can send this video as well, but at least you'll have this, you'll have an actual document to go along with my reading and sometimes comments. All right, so the first one is talk openly with your healthcare provider about fall risks and prevention. You want to tell your provider right away if you fall, if you worry about falling, or if you even just feel unsteady. Have your doctor or pharmacist review all of your medicines that you take, even the over-the-counter medicines. So we've talked about that in previous videos. That medications includes over-the-counter, it includes if you take herbals, if you have any supplements, vitamins, etc. We got to tell our doctors and pharmacists about that. As you get older, and you would have seen this from those videos, the medicines, our bodies change, and the medicines change, don't always metabolize and react the same way to our aging bodies. Some medicines, and including a combination of medicines, can make you feel sleepy or dizzy. And ask your provider about, you want to ask your provider about taking vitamin D supplements to improve bone, muscle, and nerve health. Next is exercise to improve your balancing strength. Exercises that improve both of these things, balance and make your leg, they improve balance and they make your legs stronger. They lower your chances of falling. It also helps you make you feel better and even more confident on your feet. An example of exercise can be Tai Chi, and there are even chair exercises and lots of great things that you can be doing to strengthen your legs and improve your confidence, etc. Number 3, have your eyes and your feet checked. At least once a year, check with your eye doctor and update your eyeglasses if needed. That may not be the case, but you want to check. You could also have a condition called glaucoma, or you could have cataracts that limit your vision. Poor vision can increase your chances of falling. Also, have your healthcare provider check your feet once a year. Discuss proper footwear and ask whether seeing a foot specialist or podiatrist is advised. And I'll be coming out with another video that talks specifically about footwear that is recommended by the CDC. There's lots of them, but they come down to some core principles that are really really important to know. And yes, it might alert you that some of your footwear may be unsafe, but wouldn't you rather know now than to find out later after a fall or a near fall that could be prevented? So it's important to make sure you're getting your eyes and your feet checked. Number 4, make your home safer. Makes sense, right? So I'm going to read the bullets they have on here, and I'm also going to have another video that discusses 23 items, 23 things to check. So there will be some overlap, but this is only about 8 probably that I'm going to talk about right now. All right, remove things that you can trip over. This can be books, papers, it can be clothes, it can be shoes that are left around. Especially removing them from stairs and places where you walk. So, there are certain pathways in our homes, and you want to keep these things out of the path and especially off of stairs. Remove small throw rugs or use double-sided tape to keep these rugs from slipping. Very important. I know some people love their small rugs, especially like in the hallway or in the foyer. And we're not saying you can't have them, but they do have a propensity to slip, and that is a trip hazard. So there's double-sided tape that you can get for these to make sure that they stay down on the ground. Keep items that you use often in cabinets that you can reach easily without having to pull out the step stool. So again, we're not saying you can't do this, but wouldn't it make sense if the items that you did have that you use often, that they're very easy to reach, so you're not having to take out the step stool, or you're not tempted to step on something else or get up on the counter or anything like that. So right now in my household, we use an air fryer, and some of us like to keep the air fryer off of the counter so the counter looks clear. I'm one of those. I agree with that. So we put it in the pantry, but it's sort of up high, the weight because it's sort of tall. It only fits on a certain shelf. So, but then it's difficult for some family members to take it down. So, we have to balance it being on having clear counter and having the air fryer accessible in an easy way because it's tall. So right now we're looking at how we sort of navigate that, whether we just leave it on the counter or if we perhaps look below, move some other things around, maybe even lower a particular shelf level in a base cabinet so that it's not too tall to go in there. So I'm not sure if I'm saying stay tuned because I don't know if I'll remember to come back and update you on that. But I think we all sort of have these challenges, and it's a good challenge to have because we were trying to meet all the needs of the family, nice clear counter, and then also the frequency of using that particular appliance. Have grab bars put next to and inside of the tub and next to the toilet. Now, um, if you're an older adult, if you have a pro- if there is a certain risk of falling, this is certainly something you want to consider. If you are not, it might be harder to convince you to do that because most grab bars do not look pretty. But wow, are they handy and helpful when you perhaps slip? Because the bathroom is one of the most frequent one of the highest risk rooms that you have in your home is the bathroom. And that's because you shower there, you go to the bathroom there. They're typically not real big. They tend to have slick, like tile usually. So there's reasons why it might be it's there's that extra risk there. So it's something to think about. Now there are probably nicer looking grab bars. Make sure that when you do get those when you do install them, if you install them yourselves, make sure they're going in the studs. If you're not confident about doing that, hire somebody or get somebody who knows about home improvement that knows how to find the wooden studs behind the sheetrock so that you're able to, it was really anchored really well. Because the last thing you want to do is to put in a grab bar, not and it just be in the sheetrock, and then you go to put all of your weight on it, and then that would make things even worse. That would be a really hard fall. And I also want to encourage you to not use the grab bars that use suction cups to go onto like tile or plastic or whatever. Those tend to not be safe either. Eventually, they sort of slide or they can become insecure. I would stay away from the suction cup ones. All right, that's grab bars. Use non-slip mats in the bathtub and the shower. Pretty self-explanatory. Improve the lighting in your home. So as we get older, we talked about eyes already, but as we get older, we need more light to see because our eyes, the pupil in our eye, the black dot in the center of our eye, it when we're in a darker environment, it gets larger, and we get into a brighter environment, it gets smaller, but the speed at which it will get larger and smaller is a lot slower as we get older. So you may go into from a bright room into a dark room, and your eye is opening up its pupil slower. So your eyes are not adjusting to the low level of light like you did when you were younger. So that means that could, mean that you're not seeing things that are on the floor, you bump into things, or you could fall. So more lighting is the gist. Um, you can also we also want to make sure that you are not blinded by light, um, so that if you walk into from a dark room into a bright room, there's not glare coming out through the window, bouncing off the floor, etc. Because your eyes need to adjust to glare as well. So sometimes lightweight curtains can help with that. Have handrails and lights installed on all staircases, and wear well-fitting shoes with good support inside and outside of the house. Um, just be really careful. Um, don't be someone who is like, well, I'm just gonna go get the mail right now. I'm not gonna change my shoes to go outside. Or I'm just gonna go put the trash out. I'm not gonna change my shoes. So, that the convenience of not doing that might mean but you might be taking a greater risk of falling rather than, say, taking off your slippers and putting some shoes that we'll talk about in another video, putting on safer shoes for outside. So I know it's a short amount of time that you might be using that outdoor shoe, but think about all the time uh, you would save, you would all the pain and potential time, being injured if you would just do that. So plus there are some slip-on shoes that you just kind of step in if they're made properly. You don't have to lace them up. So that's an option too. We'll talk about in future videos. So I hope this video was helpful for you. We talked about 4 basic ways to prevent that you can prevent falls. That's talk openly with your healthcare professional, exercise in some way to improve your balance and strength, have your eyes and your feet checked annually, and then make your home safer. And we'll have videos going deeper into these, especially the footwear and making your home safer in the future. I hope you stick around and for those future videos. And I hope that you will share this with a friend or family member if they are open to receiving this type of stuff, because we ultimately all want to be as independent as possible. We want to be doing the things that we want to do, doing the activities that we enjoy doing as long as possible. And that starts with preventing falls, taking care of our bodies and our strength. So thank you for watching this. Thanks for supporting the Council on Aging at St. Tammany. And I hope that you get to see me on a screen near you in future videos. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.